My name is Leslie Herrin.
My name is Ivory Gray.
And this is the Clinton Arrow Podcast.
So we have taken over Miss Torrance's office here in the library. I don't know if everybody can see. I definitely would not have anything Mississippi State on my wall. But I just want to give all of her credit that she gets her kids and all that kind of stuff. But we're here in the library, in the office, because next door to us, what's happening over there next door right now, Ms. Herrin?
We are meeting with 7th grade parents, discussing graduation options so that every child and parent know what is required to graduate from high school.
So that's not anything. We take that for granted because everybody kind of remembers going through high school. You did your typical diploma thing and all, but it really, the way that education has kind of shifted, things start in 6th and 7th grade,
Correct.
At least knowing things. So having their options, what kind of options are they being presented with right now?
They're being told what is required and then also what is optional at the high school, such as dual credit classes, AP classes, career center classes, and then what they can use to go to college or a career.
Yeah, and so there are different kind of they're not different diplomas, but they're different. What's the word I'm looking for?
Endorsements.
It's different endorsements of what kind of diploma you can get to move forward, and we'll get into that into a bit. But one of the things that I want to talk about, Dr. Gray, this is your first year. I'm excited that you're hanging out at the junior high. As a parent of a junior high student myself, we're very glad that you're here. Is this Arrows on the Rise program that you've got going on? It's preparing for 7th grade. It's kind of an open house. What is this event, and how did you come up with it?
So we felt the need to have clear communication. We thought early awareness was best. Just giving parents an opportunity to know what's to come. And even though we might look at things being further down the line, we figured the earlier the better.
How did y'all come up with this? Was this like something that this is something I've thought of, that this has been a great idea for a long time, and so I'm glad it's enacted. How did y'all come up with this?
So we were kind of talking this summer. We did a lot of summer planning, and we thought, hey, how can we make the transition from one campus to another a little bit easier for everyone? Because just think about it, any new place comes with nerves and, anxiety or whatever. And so we wanted to ease the anxiety for parents, for students, and anyone involved in making decisions for their students. And so we thought the open house would be an easy way to get them to see the school before they start next year, but also to become familiar with faces, people, just different landmarks around the school as well.
Yeah, you talked about the landmark. The layout of the junior high can be a little daunting because it's the old high school. Some people graduated from this building.
I was the last class to graduate from Clinton High School in the current Clinton Junior High School.
What made you think, because I think this is a great idea, it reminds me a lot of like orientation of college or like a college visit when you're a senior. So you're coming out of elementary school and into secondary, into junior high, but instead of doing it in May, you decided to do it in January. Why did you land on that?
I think part of it is we are getting ready to introduce them to different courses that they can take here at the junior high, and then also requirements for the transition. Showing them around what they're doing in the classrooms here, but also acknowledging what they can do as they move.
And so, this is a precursor for, choice sheets. We normally give those out around the end of January, early February. So this is kind of like an introduction to what they'll be expecting once they see the choice sheets. When we go over to Love It and kind of introduce things and kind of show them a layout or just a plan for their courses as well.
And one of the things with the choice sheets, because we're experiencing this now at my house, and so my 5th grader, who will be a 6th grader next year, kind of has a jump, but my current 8th grader, this is all new because she was first kind of going down the journey, they can get high school Carnegie units in this building.
Correct.
What all can they get here, and when can that start?
It actually starts in the 7th grade if they are taking 7th grade compacted math, or we have a class called App Design, and then there is a class called Cyber Foundations. This is for 7th grade.
Okay.
8th grade, there's a lot more choices. They can actually earn up to about 10 high school credits before they leave the junior high.
And it's everything Spanish.
Spanish.
Great teacher teaching Spanish.
Great teacher.
Robotics, a wonderful teacher teaching robotics.
Then also they will receive a social studies credit and a math credit, no matter what math program that they're in.
Okay, so they're jumping on these Carnegie units pretty early, so colleges will see these scores on transcripts.
Correct.
So it's good to keep that up in their mindset here. So shifting away from the kids to the parents. So they show up. This is going to be January the 6th, right? January 6th from 1 to 2 p.m. or 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. So there's 2-hour sessions that they can come and visit on that Monday. What should parents expect when they show up? And I know you've never done this before, so you're like, I don't know. But what, in your head, what should they expect when they get here?
So it's our plan to first have a general assembly in the gym. And so in the General Assembly, we'll have a presentation from the cheerleaders to a pep band as well as the show choir. Because not only do we do academics, but we also do just the extracurriculars. And so I think that's a good way to kind of, just gather that interest and build excitement for that. So we'll have a General Assembly. We'll have the pep band, the show choir. We'll also have cheerleaders. And then we'll kind of get into the meat of things with the course options and how they're selected. And then from there, we'll have a scavenger hunt. And so from the scavenger hunt, they'll go around maybe the gym, the EC, the cafeteria, just those common areas that they need to know. And then as they're going through the scavenger hunt, we'll have some snacks provided for them as well.
That's good. I think in one of our last episodes that we had, Jemiah Ivory, who's a junior at the high school, she said that they love them some food. So I think that we'll give credit to her that y'all
Children and adults.
Children and adults. I do like the fact that you're giving them some free reign across campus because, like we said, this is fairly confusing because it's a classic kind of laid out old school facility. What have you seen kind of with the sixth graders coming from Lovett, where you had 3 basic hallways to coming over here to where there's a lot of real estate to cover? What have you seen over the years this year, and then Ms. Herrin over the years? What have you seen of how kids? Do they tend to stress out a little bit because they've got to go so far, or how is that managed?
So I guess I've seen it at both levels. Coming from Clinton Park, because I would think a pre-K student or a kindergarten student, they would have a hard time of finding the building. And so at first there's a struggle, a challenge. You can tell by their faces like, hey, I'm lost, I don't know where to go. But we're always in the hallway to direct them, lead them, guide them to see where they need to go. And so maybe after the first week or so, they kind of find their footing and the layout of the school. And so with time, it kind of helps them to get used to the layout of the building as well. And
also the transition from going from an all-day classes to an AB schedule is very difficult for them to understand. These are the classes I'm going to just on this day, and then on B day I'm going to these different classes. So that is a transition.
So before they even get here, kind of knowing that there's going to be this massive change, they don't need to harbor any kind of stress or anything because y'all are expecting this
every year.
It's
happened. It's every year. The anxiety level, it grows. And so that's one of the reasons why doing this will help. I don't know the word for it, but to help change that anxiety level because at least they step foot in the building.
Do parents need to sign up for this, or can they just show up? How do you want them to register?
So no sign up is required. It's open. We just ask that you come. And once you come, we'll guide you and tell you what we need from you. For them as well. Ms. Herrin will be here. She's 7th grade counselor. Mr. Wiltshire is 8th grade counselor. And then, of course, me and Mr. Smith, Cartier, and Thompson will be here as well. But no sign-up is required. Just come, and we'll love to have you.
Okay, curveball question. I gave y'all questions before we got here, but I didn't give y'all this one. Have you talked with Lovett at all about this? Any kind of tie-in with Dr. Pope and how that transition could look?
So we had a meeting, we had a meeting before Arrow session. Okay. And so we kind of talked about, like, hey, how would this look? I kind of got his input in terms of, what we're dealing with, basically. And we had a great planning session. He told me some things that he would like to see. I told him some things I would like to see from campus to campus. Yeah. And we've had several discussions between the two of us about, hey, what can we expect for this?
If anybody has any questions or they need to get in contact with anybody, who do they need to holler at and how do they need to holler?
So they can reach out to myself.
Robert Chapman.
You can send me an email. I'll get a lot of emails anyway. Go ahead and send them on.
You can reach out to myself. My email is on our school's webpage.
And me as well. My email is on the webpage. They can call the school.
Okay.
Anything that we can do to help with that transition.
So that phone number is 60. I still remember it from working here. 601-924-0619.
That is correct.
There we go. 601-924-0619. And you can talk to Miss Chelsea. She'll help you out.